And we're joined by Coach Luke Fickell from Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 6-1 overall, 2-1 in the American Athletic Conference. Bearcats played at Temple last Saturday. Temple won the game 24-17 in overtime. Cincinnati's back in action Saturday at SMU. Be 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time start on CBS Sports Network. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call. If you take a minute to tie up the game at Temple from last Saturday, and we expect to see as you're back in action again on the road at SMU this Saturday, please.
Tough loss for us. I mean, we played really well and played hard, with the exception to probably the first minute of the game and the last 2.5 minutes of the game. All in all, playing pretty complimentary football. We wore out a little bit. They made the plays when they really, really counted down the stretch. There's a lot of little things here and there that go into it, but it was one of those ones that's, not to take credit away from them. You just felt like, dang, you gave something away there at the stretch and at the end, and just couldn't find a way to muster up the momentum down the stretch and into overtime. And so this is one that stings and hurts, but the only way to get that feeling out is get back to work. And our guys came in with a great attitude on Sunday, got back to work, and we got our hands full with another challenge on the road, going down to SMU to battle a team that's won 3 of their last 4 games. I think has settled into their quarterback a little bit more, and they look more in rhythm and things like that, and the ability to get their athletes the ball offensively, settled in defensively. I think maybe outside of the first 3 or 4 weeks, 3 weeks of the season, have really played a lot better defensively, and I think you see that starting to happen in the first year. New coaching staff and everything. They've really kind of settled in after those first few games.
Any questions for Coach Luke Fickell, please? *1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue. The operator will introduce you. We wait for questions, Coach. I'll throw the first one out. One thing that struck me from watching your game on Saturday is the performance of your punter, and how much of a momentum swing can a guy like that give you, where you have a guy that can just swing the field 70 yards at any given time, or consistently 50 yards, knowing that if the offense doesn't quite make it happen in your own end, you can put your defense in a pretty good spot.
No, it's huge. I mean, field position is a huge part of that game, and he gave us a better opportunity. Obviously, didn't end up being as successful, but at least we made him have to go the distance because of his ability to, make some big plays. And, time in and time out, there's a lot of things he can do, and we haven't even scratched the surface, so he's an asset to us. I mean, not just with the long ones that he had, but even the ability to get him high enough where, guys with dynamic returners don't get a whole lot of opportunities just because of the fact that, he does what we ask him to do. He could probably kick it further if we let him, but, we kind of ask him to make sure hang time's every bit as important as distance, and then the ability to, he didn't have a whole bunch of opportunities, but down him inside the 10-yard line, he's been very good at that as well.
And just looking ahead to the matchup against SMU, last year's game was obviously an overtime decision. Can you take anything from last year's matchup, or is it just with the new coaching staff on their side? Did you just throw that one out the window and just look strictly at this year's performance?
No, I mean, you can look personnel and things. Obviously, last year a 4th and 26 that they convert in overtime is a difference maker, and your ability to handle some of those momentum shifts and swings and things like that. But every year there's a lot of new things, a lot of different things, especially when you got a completely new coaching staff. But again, we got a lot of games to evaluate on what they've done this year, and their ability to hone in maybe a little bit more in the last 4 weeks, I think, has really proven them to be to get a hell of a lot better.
Any further questions for Coach Luke Fickell, please? *1 on your telephone keypad, if so. Well, Coach, thanks as always for your time.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing once again next week. All right.